1 year ago, I had an uncomfortable realization. I was no longer in the driver's seat of my own life.
So this realization that I kind of had last month, I don't know, I was just like having a lot of doubts for some reason about my path.
Contrary to my own advice, the things I've talked about many times on this channel, I let society and expectations determine what was best for me. I realized that I needed to reconnect with myself and regain control of my life's direction. I traveled to foreign countries, took online courses, taste tested cookies, made new friends, and coined 2025 my year of exploration. Above all else, my goal for the year was to follow my heart and try new things. The past year has been an extremely rewarding journey, and I'm grateful for everything I've learned. For anyone feeling stuck, lost, or complacent, here are 6 lessons that I learned from my year of exploration that may help you reconnect with yourself and get back in the driver's seat of your own life. Doing a year of exploration will make you more interesting. When I was younger, people used to always tell me that I was the weirdest person they had ever met. Now, people say I'm the most interesting person they've ever met. I've tried and failed at so many different things in my life. I've lived in several different places. I have a way to connect myself to pretty much everything that somebody could bring up. I never run out of stories, and I think that keeps things interesting. My 12 sports project was one of people's favorite conversation topics from the past year. And I think people really liked it too because I was doing something different every month, so they could keep asking about it and things were always changing. For anyone who's looking for a little push to get out and explore more, this is just a reminder that doing so will make you more interesting. During a period of exploration, you must be open-minded. The wonderful thing about exploration is how it allows you to stop telling yourself stories about who you are. Trying new experiences often and broadly can remind yourself that your identity and your interests can always change. You're never fixed in one place. You're never fixed with one set of interests. You can always change. I'm a scientist, so I like to think of myself as a little research project. And the thing about trying new things is sometimes these experiences can be good, sometimes they can be bad. But when you think of yourself as a scientist, you're just collecting data. In science, we know that data is never good or bad, it's just information. So if something sounds interesting, but when you try it, you end up not liking it, that's totally okay. In fact, that's wonderful because you learned something about yourself. But I think it's also important to give yourself a chance to try things that you might not assume you would like. There are countless books I took a chance on this year and ended up being surprised by how much I learned from them and how much I enjoyed them. In one of my many research sessions this year, Googling furiously for career advice, I came across this really interesting article, and one piece of advice that really stuck out to me from this article is that you should be searching for interest, not passion. They put it into words a lot better than I could, so I'm just going to quote them. Passion isn't a necessary prerequisite for your career path, but interest is. Figuring out an interest is much less daunting than finding a passion. I went into the year of exploration determined to find my passion, but that is much too big of a goal. Instead, I came out of the year of exploration having found a lot of things that I'm interested in. I've always thought of myself as a lab scientist, but I had this yearning to try fieldwork. So I took a chance on a marine biology internship this year, and I ended up surprising myself so much and realizing that maybe my identity doesn't have to be tied to taking care of cells and working in a lab. When you are trying to explore and find yourself again, you will make the best decisions that you can. I said this in my first year of exploration video, but as you get older, it feels like your decisions start to matter more. It feels like the stakes of your life are higher. There's a pressure to make progress, and it can be really hard to allow yourself room for exploration because of how this might disrupt the progress. I had to make several big decisions this year: to quit my job or not, to sell my car or not, to go to grad school or not, and I tend to be quite thoughtful and strategic when I'm making big decisions. But to allow myself to truly explore, I had to consistently remind myself there are very few decisions in life that are actually permanent. I've always loved the quote, "We make the best decisions we can with the information we have available at the time." Some of the decisions I made, looking back on them now with new updated information, I think maybe it wasn't the right decision, but it seemed like the right decision then, and I made the best decision that I could. If I had never ended up here, If I had never gone through those things, how would I ever have known? How would I ever have learned from those experiences to make better decisions in the future? A really important lesson I learned this year is that it's never too late to change your life. I've been thinking a lot about my work friend Mason from one of my old jobs. Mason and I started in the exact same role. The difference was I was 22 years old, fresh out of college, and Mason had been in the workforce for a few years. Mason was finally doing the thing that he really wanted to do. It had just taken him a little longer to find his way there. It's never too late to change your life, but change definitely isn't an overnight thing. My year of exploration provided me with the information I needed to know how I want to change my life, but it's not going to happen instantly. Like Mason, I'm starting to make the moves that I need to get to the life I want to have, but change doesn't happen at the snap of your fingers. In a lot of ways, I've ended up back where I started. After trying 12 different sports over the course of the year, I realized that I still love rock climbing and want to get back into it. But I also found new sports that I enjoy and have a different perspective on my athletic career. But there have also been a lot of things that I thought I wanted, and the year of exploration helped me to see that there are alternative pathways. Exploration is lifelong, and I don't want it to be limited to just this year. I think a year of exploration is probably really good for your brain. Like, exploration has all these benefits for your brain and your health. I've said this from the beginning, but having the chance to think about things like what you want to do for work or where you want to live is such a privilege. I'm so lucky to be in the position that I'm in, and I think about that every day. I think my goal for next year is to find a way to have this balance between being grateful for the life I have without settling for a life I don't want.
I guess I kind of left the end of the video pretty open-ended, kind of left you guys hanging, but that is really the thesis for next season, the next chapter of the vlog. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. There will be more.